Okay, good afternoon and welcome everyone to this information session on applied AI for Agritech Professionals. Thank you for joining us. We have about 5 minutes for introductions, and we will then have 15 minutes of program overview, followed by about 10 minutes for a Q&A session. My name is Rahul Singh, Director of BC Center for Agritech Innovation, and I'm honored to have Professor Blaize Reich, Academic Director of the Digital Innovation and Leadership or DIAL program at SFU. Before we start, I want to take time to recognize that I'm joining you from the traditional ancestral and unceded territories of Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh people. My commitment to supporting truth and reconciliation is to increase awareness to Indigenous culture and ways of knowing and doing. I encourage you to explore more about Indigenous cultures in the areas that you live and the lessons that these cultures have provided regarding connection to community, land, and people. So this group, I believe, knows more than anyone else that the agriculture and agri-food sectors are under tremendous pressure, primarily due to increasing needs of growing global population, impacts of climate volatility and extreme weather events, labor and skill shortages, and just to add on top of that, global geopolitical scenarios also impact our food systems. And this group also knows that the sector has a history of adopting technology to address these needs while ensuring that it makes business sense. And when we talk about AI, just to bring everyone on the same page, the AI activities advance the ability of computer systems to perform tasks that have traditionally required human intelligence, including machine learning, data visualization, natural language processing and interpretation, intelligent decision support systems, and autonomous systems, and novel applications of these techniques to agriculture and food production systems. In fact, the sector is already using AI from long time based on a number of tools to manage data and automate different processes as well. And some of these examples are like shown on this slide, from cattle monitoring to leaf analysis to soil analysis. Weather monitoring is a big one. And then, a number of automation and using drone for field mapping and all those things. So the sector is already adopting AI, but with the advent of generative and agentic AI, which are transforming the AI landscape, now it is very challenging to keep up with the pace at which AI-based tools are being developed and services are becoming available to us. So it is very important for us to learn how we can integrate this new form of AI into our business processes. And that's where we are focusing on in this particular program. And if you look at the market value for AI, in the coming years, so it is projected to be about $14.6 billion by 2032. So this is the right time for this opportunity. And with that, I would invite Dr. Reich to share about the program overview.
Thank you, Rahul, and welcome everyone. At the DIAL programs, we have run digital innovation and leadership programs here at SFU Business for 5 years, and have graduated over 1,000 leaders from these programs. And so the AI program it's applied AI for professionals is one of those programs, which we have started last year. And now we're inviting you to join us and create an applied AI for Agritech professionals. We have to step back a bit and realize that the real challenge in AI is not the tools at all. It's fitting the tools into the workspace, into the workflows, into the problem space and the opportunity space that makes the most difference to your organization and to you as a professional. And it's using it to amplify your unique expertise. So this program isn't about tools. It will tell you, it will guide you in using those tools, but it'll be all about what are you trying to do with them to make a business decision, to make a business investment in tools to advance your organization. This is a 9-week program, 10-week program, and I think there's 3 key learnings in this program over those 9 or 10 weeks. First is that you'll be able to explain and I think demonstrate key elements of successful implementation. And those key elements include prototyping expertise. You'll learn different ways to prototype different approaches to prompt, You'll learn about the importance of data curation and how that'll make all the difference to the work that you get done. You'll also think about yourself as a professional and how do you future-proof yourself when our world keeps changing every quarter, every 2 quarters. There's new single use AI tools, and there's also new advances from the big tools. The other thing is risks. We'll think carefully about risks and systems learning. So that's the explanation and your ability to understand and explain that to anyone else in your organization. And now we get into the doing part. Another part of the doing will be, and this is the module that I'm involved in, is to learn how to apply AI to deep learning. In other words, if you have something that is going on in your workplace that you need to accomplish over the next while, might be a week or 2 weeks, for example, I use this to write a paper, but you might use this to plan a campaign or plan a new initiative or do some strategic planning. That's to learn to use AI with some deep work and to create a focused workspace, a persistent workspace where you can keep asking and going back and forth to it. So that's one key learning and doing in the program. And the other one is agents. Of course, everybody is into agents right now. And in this program, you will end up with a prototype agent. An agent that will help you repeat those tasks that you do regularly, but you can just ask your agent to do it. And that's kind of the exciting end of the program. Everybody's pretty excited about that when they get to that point. But throughout, you really want to try and get yourself ready for this new way of working. And that's what the program is for. It's really not about the tools per se. It's an 8-week virtual program. And the next cohort is on April the 15th. So it's starting pretty soon, starting in a couple of weeks. This is April 1, and this is not an April Fool's joke. It is starting in 2 weeks, and it runs every week. So every week, there's a rhythm to our classes and our programs. Every week is a new subject. Often it's a new professor. And so every week you'll get on to the website, you'll pick up and listen to the seminar, and that's the learning. And then you'll join your classmates in class. So we have a synchronous class time every Wednesday from 12 to 1:30. And you'll discuss the work that you've listened to on the webinar, and then you'll get ready to do your assignment. And yes, there are assignments. There's an assignment every week. So it's not for marks. You're not going to get an A or a B, but you are going to get feedback from your faculty member and from a mentor. So that's the opportunity for you to practice these skills. And so from the Wednesday to the Saturday or so, you practice those skills, you do the work. You may be working on an agent, you may be working on a deep workspace or practicing prompting, and then you'll put that into an assignment and get feedback on it. So every week we get together as a class virtually, and there's learning before and after that. So it's very action-oriented. This is all about doing. That's why we called it applied AI. This is about applying AI and just not just talking about it. And the reason we're doing this particular webinar is we're really hoping to create an Agritech substream. And to do that, that's a special kind of envelope within the AIP program. And to do that, we'll need 10 people from the Agritech sector to sign up. When we get 10 people from the Agritech sector, and really, when I see people in our program, they come from a lot of different levels. They come from CIO, COO level, CFO level, manager of different products and programs, and down to business analysts. Anybody that has wants to be skilled up and get ready to participate in AI. So this applied AI will have a very wide dispersion of talent within it, so that you can really share your expertise and your learnings across the class. So if we get an Agritech substream with at least 10 people in it, we can then have a private discussion board where you'll go as an Agritech professional, show your work, discuss the issues you have within your own substream. We'll have dedicated breakout rooms, because when we're here as a class, we often go into breakouts, but we'll have breakout rooms for Agritech professionals. We'll also have a special mentor, an Agritech mentor. We've done this before. We've run healthcare AIP specialties. And so we'll have the healthcare people in dedicated breakout rooms. We'll hire an expert in healthcare. And so we're planning to do that again in Agritech if there's a willing to jump in. And in this program, you're going to be looking at opportunities in your own work, in your own Agritech specific work. So it's very focused on you. There won't be any kind of fictitious cases that you're going to have to answer. This is your work, and you're going to apply AI to it. In the past, we've had some Agritech people in our other DIAL programs. And here's just some examples of what kind of problems and opportunities they've been working on. One team was working, trying to figure out how to remediate the vineyard threats, how to get a better advance notice of vineyard threats. And they were proposing and working on a centralized vineyard analyst position, and also creating a dashboard so that everyone who needed to know could see the threat level at any given time. The second group was wanting to increase the quality of grapes without increasing the cost, and without abrogating their sustainability goals. And so their solution, which they worked on and ultimately pitched at the end, was to implement drone technology and enhance their data collection software so the data would be all in one place and available for analysis, which of course leads you into AI and the opportunity to get real information and prospective information from your data. The third group was a different kind. It was a marketing group in a winery after the big frost. And they were trying to figure out how they could hold their customers close through this very difficult period and drive brand loyalty. And their idea, which they moved forward with, was to expand their CRM, implement a chat bot, and integrate systems within their website. So everything was tied together. So these projects are just examples of what Agritech people in our programs have done. Now, they weren't AI-focused programs, but I just wanted to show you that they are very focused on specific opportunities or threats in their landscape. At the end of the program, you will get a LinkedIn badge, a badge that you put on your LinkedIn profile, and a certificate of completion. So if you're interested in this program, please sign up. We'd love to have you with us.
And with that, I think we move into the Q&A session. So first question I ask is this program open to anyone globally, or it is only for BC resident or Canadians only?
No, it's open. It's mostly going to be Canadians in the program, because that's who we attract in Canada. We've had some Americans, and we've had some from Azerbaijan.
Yeah.
So we've had some from a long way away, but it's mostly Canadians, and mostly people who have a need to move ahead with their work.
Okay, thanks. Because I know we have some registration, like, from Texas and from India as well, and probably some other countries too.
Yes.
There's one question about, is this program about using existing AI tools and assistants rather than learning to train new AI tools? And I believe you mentioned that, but if you can explain.
I did, Rahul. Thanks for the question. Yes, it is about using existing tools. It could be general purpose tools like Perplexity or Gemini, or single purpose tools that do a single thing. We're not going to be building new tools in this program.
Thank you. So can you elaborate on Agritech mentorship piece?
I can elaborate a bit because we use mentors in a lot of our programs. So what happens is that the mentor will be a person who's an expert in the system. So for example, with the healthcare mentorship, we hired a mentor who was the chief of information, digital information at Fraser Health. And she was with the class, every class, and she responded and gave her opinion about different things, and then she replied to the assignment. So she gave feedback on the assignment. So that's what the mentor will be doing.
Thank you. And I'll just add that because BCCAI is involved with this program, this cohort in particular as well. So we'll be providing similar mentorship support as
Yes,
well. So there will be that value added to the program.
that's right.
And another question is, what is the required attendance? I believe that means that if you have to go through the entire session, all the sessions to get the badge, or we
Well,
can use some of those.
there's often a session. It's important to go to the sessions because that's the time you're in class listening to others. We don't actually record sessions. So when you're in class, it's a cone of silence because you're going to be talking about your organization or your own personal experience. We don't distribute that outside the class. So you have to be in class to hear the class. So that's first thing to know. It's important to be there. Now, if you can't be there, you tell us that you can't be there, but you still need to do the assignment. And we're working towards at the end, for example, in the last class, it's called a kind of a show and tell. You're going to show your work. So if you've built an agent, you can tell us about it and show it. If you've built a workspace or if you've learned something really interesting, you show it. So the whole class sees where the learning has gone.
Yeah, sounds fair to me.
Yeah, we always have a show and tell at the end.
And now we have a question. Is the AI application in Agritech that will be discussed in this stream just on the software side or include hardware? Go ahead. But
It's software. We're interested in software. And by the way, you can use whatever AI tool your organization already has subscribed to. We do suggest that you have a paid version of whatever tool you're going to use. It's just going to help you do the exercises and get better data and get better results. And so if you need to, for this course, if you don't have something in that your organization has already paid for, pay for it for the 3 months or 2.5 months and get used to using it.
And I will just add that if you have any questions or which require maybe a bit more specific understanding about your needs, please reach out to BCCAI or Dial team. We can have a one-on-one session just to make sure that you fully understand what you are going to get out before you sign up, so you know what you're getting through this course.
Yeah, we're expecting, for example, we gave one program just for SFU people a few months ago, and they all use Copilot. So we were focused on Copilot in our teaching. Before that, our first AIP, about half the course was Copilot and half was ChatGPT. So again, most of the discussion was either Copilot or Chat, because they are different. The interfaces are different and the results are different. So we're expecting going forward, there will be more Gemini users now, perhaps more Perplexity. So there'll be a whole range of tools that we'll talk about.
Okay, thank you. We have one more question. As we transition from AI hype to practical implementation, what are the top 3 unglamorous data infrastructure or standardization hurdles that must be solved to achieve a consistent ROI? And how do we bridge the gap between AI experts and farmers on the ground? Great question. You want to take on that?
I'll give you at least 2. One is data.
Yeah.
Data, we're so experienced now putting in systems as a software as a service, the SaaS systems like CRMs and other ERPs. We're experienced in doing that. We're used to them giving us features, but the game has changed. Now we have to build those features. So it's a build environment, which is different. It's also a data. So if you build, you've got to bring the data to the table. So you're going to have to learn how to curate and govern the data. And also you're going to have to manage the risks. What we're finding is that it's not a one and done. It's not like having your Microsoft BI and you put it on, do it every week. You've got to watch because these AIs are changing right under our feet. We're not in charge of them. So it's a risky environment. risky. The upside can be very high, but the risks are very real. So I would say risk and data, and for sure are the things you need to worry about or think about. It's different, and it's build. We haven't been in a build environment, right? I don't know how many of you build systems to support your organizations, but many are not in that game yet. So you might get an outsourcer, you might get a consultant to help you build, or a company to help you build. That's just a different environment.
No, that's for sure. And also on the point, like, how we bridge gap between AI expert and farmers on the ground, I think like empowering farmers with this knowledge is very critical. And also reducing the hype for them is very critical because they know exactly what they need. And one of the, I think, best things about this is that, AI is not going to create food like anytime soon. So like agriculture and food sector is certainly going to be continuing to have a lot more people employed, and like we would need people to work in that space. The knowledge will help to like improve efficiency, productivity, because automation is also going to be a big part of that in the future, especially with the labor challenges, and also in the supply chain. Like as AI will integrate, I think learning about that will certainly help farmers and like producers to do better with AI.
Yeah, I've already seen advances. I mean, this was many years ago, using deep learning and sector in ground and in air, measuring water and moisture and crop advancement, and giving that information to farmers. I think we know how to do that. It's the presentation of the information needs to be good, very good. It's always needed to be good. This is just different. What's behind the scenes is going to change.
We got one more question. How can I contact if I have further questions about whether the program is good fit for me?
SFU dial that's somebody can put that, our host can put that in the panel here in the chat, and or you can get in touch with me. I'm blaize.reich@sfu.ca. I'm very happy to talk to you. As I said, we've had 1,000 people going through these dial programs, and we're very committed to helping people on the other side have a toolbox when they get out. It's not just it's not like a class you just walk away and that was nice and you don't implement the learning. The point is to get yourself feeling confident and competent to move forward. This is a bit of a different landscape for us all. Things are moving so quickly. But we hope at the end of we plan for the end of the program, you will feel good about moving forward. So somebody asked who will be the mentor for the program. We're hoping that Dr. Singh will be the mentor for the program. I don't think we've asked him yet because we don't have 10 people signed up yet, but we've got him on hold.
Yeah, and then I have like a fabulous team with me as well. So I think we certainly can provide great support to the cohort. And the reason we are actually looking forward to have this cohort is because of the feedback we saw from the market. Like there's significant interest, like from all the stakeholders, partners we work with. And as you see, like in the past, people have joined like independently. So we would want to see like if we have a cohort that might be more meaningful and more collaborative for the community too. So we are really excited, and hopefully we'll have people coming out and joining. We are at the end. We can end the session, but again, I would like to thank each of you for joining us from wherever you are joining. And if you have questions, please reach out to us. We'll make sure that you understand what you are going to get of the program and help you in making the decision which is best for your organization and for yourself. With that, yeah, thank you everyone, and have a good rest of the day.
Love to see you in the class. Bye now.
Take care.